Syria is a tragedy. Assad is a tyrant and murderer of his people. The chief opponent to his power is ISIL, and the alternative to that is a disjointed group, including the Al-Qaeda. If anyone proposed an alternative to Assad, especially now that he is physically backed up on the ground by Tehran and Moscow.
Emily, I'd like to bring you in here first, because obviously from a human rights perspective, you wouldn't want to see Assad remain in power. But as that questioner just suggested, you can't really get rid of all dictators.
Yeah, it's a really good question, and certainly the Foreign Minister has indicated that that might be a way that she wishes to go on this, to enter into some sort of a partnership with Assad. I think that's really worrying for Australia. He's currently investigating war crimes and massacres in Syria. Assad is very much reputational risk and legitimacy risk for Australia to be partnering with somebody of that calibre.
Making deals with Assad and helping him to remain in power. Why is that?
Well, it has to go to the whole idea of what human rights is, the way I say it. As in, like, when the human rights regime was formed back in 1948, it was the idea that to protect the people from itself. So there is a symbiotic relationship between the state and human rights in this case. And two different interpretations gradually emerge. One is that especially came in after the Cold War when human rights triumphed over all other concerns. Whereas there's this group that is still not too sure if that's the case, as in, like, does human rights triumph everything, including sovereignty?
Well, sovereignty is the key point as far as China's concerned. And China doesn't want to see any country in the world have its leader overthrown simply because they're dictators, because that does create certain
It's not just about dictators.
You have a one-party state. Some people regard that as a dictatorship, and therefore that could be in danger next.
Well, it's not just about dictatorship. The next thing you know, can the United Nations intervene in America for what happened down south in the country, for example, like that? What China, I cannot speak for China, but at this point they are uncomfortable with the whole idea about, you know, the international society having the ability to intervene as and when they choose to.
As happened in Iraq. Obviously.
As happened in Iraq, Afghanistan, and
right now.